I think it was the same as normal life everywhere around the world. You know, every place has its problems. Here, a major problem would be the conflict. Always was. And from time to time also there was shooting from Gaza, rockets on soldiers, on civilians. But you wouldn't feel it in your day-to-day life, usually, before the 7th of October. So I guess it was like, waking up in the morning, drinking coffee, going to work. On 7th of October, I feel like many things have changed. I wake up early every day. It's Saturday, so I woke up like 7:30, and I open the phone, and it's the first thing that I see on a few groups in Telegram. I go to trans parties for many years now. I am part of this community, and that was the first thing that I saw in some Telegram channels. I saw that there was an attack on this party, on the Nova party, and things were not clear yet at Saturday morning, but something really bad had happened. And the fact that it happened at a trans rave party, it was like a kick under the belt. This place is like the most opposite of a terrorist attack that you could possibly think of. Men and women that were just going to have good time and to celebrate love, because that's what it's all about. The trans community, it's about celebrating love and about celebrating freedom. And during that peak of moment of love and freedom, this thing happened. I can't imagine it, what it was like to be there. And that was the first thing that came to me on a Saturday morning. Videos from the party, people running away from the party, like hundreds of people just running through the fields with bullets whistling. And slowly, as the day progressed, it started to become clear that it wasn't just like a single terrorist attack on the party, but a full-scale assault in all the villages around Gaza. At some point we understand that something has changed, that life will never be the same in Israel, and for Israelis. Many conceptions were broken, mindsets, mind states were broken. Nobody has the same opinions about anything in Israel after the 7th of October. It doesn't matter your political position. It doesn't matter if you're a Jew or one of the minorities, Arab, Muslim, Arab Christian, Druze. It doesn't matter. No one has the same opinions. Something has broken. Something has changed. It was horrible, really horrible. I didn't have any close friends at that party, but there was a lot of people there that I know. Many of them are killed. I was talking to one guy that I know, also not a close friend, but one guy that I know who was not in the party. He lives in one of the villages around Gaza that was not like completely burned, because they were able to defend themselves. And I was speaking to him, and he was in the mamad, like the safe room in his house. And he was speaking to me about, because his wife is in the WhatsApp group of another village, because she works there in the kindergarten. And another village, Kfar Aza, one of the villages that was burned. And so he was telling me what text his wife is getting from the WhatsApp group of this village, and it was horrible feeling. I don't know, just horrible, and not being able to do something about it. Well, the first month I was barely sleeping. I guess all of Israel was barely sleeping for like a whole month. It was crazy, a full country with insomnia. People can't sleep. The secondary trauma hits us all. I mean, there's a term in psychotherapy, secondary trauma. It's when you hear a story, a really horrible story of someone who had a traumatic event, and you soak it in, and then you have your own traumatic event while listening to the story or seeing the video, and that's just trauma. The body doesn't differentiate between trauma and trauma. That's just trauma, and we are all traumatized. It's like living with this like shadow all around and all over us. I try to get back to work as fast as I can, not being always all the day in home and just being reading the news. I mean, it doesn't do any good to me. So I try to get back to work as fast as I can and just to occupy myself with something. It's all around us. Not safe. I think the terms things have changed, I don't think it's quite right, because things were like this even before. But the conception of us, of the things, has broken. Now we know how things are. Before that, we were living in an illusion or something, but now we know how things are. And now we see more clearly the way things are. And I feel that feels unsafe. I don't want my kid to grow up even knowing what's a safe room in the house, or what's in the sirens that warns us from the rockets. I don't want my kid to know what are those things, and there's no way growing up in Israel without knowing what are those things. I would say don't forget. Don't forget what happened. Don't forget what's happening right now, as we speak. As we speak now, all of the north of Israel, not Gaza, north of Israel is burning. Rockets are being fired constantly at the Israeli villages, which are evacuated. Luckily, there's about 500,000 people evacuated all around Israel, in the north and in the south. It's an enormous amount of people that are being evacuated, and it's because there is a war over here. Israel didn't start this war. It's the brutal attack of the terrorist organizations that have started this war. And I think one more thing people need to understand, that this is not a fight between Judaism and Islam, or democracy and whatever. There are Muslim Arabs who fight in the ranks of IDF. When the terrorists came to Israel, they killed everyone. They killed Arabs, they killed Bedouins, they killed a woman in hijab. They were aiming the weapons to her, and she said, "No, Ana Muslim," which means I am Muslim. But they shot her. They don't care about these things. It's not a fight against Muslim. It's fight against evil, against barbarism, brutality, against people who would like to drag us back to the Middle Ages. Just think, read a little bit about what Hamas representing, about what Israel representing, about what Hezbollah representing, and then think whether in which world you want to live. Do you want to live in a world where which is run by democracies that are giving power to the citizens, or do you want a world run by tyrannic people who live by ancient laws?